If you're a Monster Hunter veteran, you've probably been playing Monster Hunter Wild since it came out. But I know there are some of you that are new. And I know that there are some of you, like me, a casual, someone who's confronted these monsters across generations of demos, trying to get used to weapons and throwing yourself into the fire to learn the game. But each time you confront a monster, they slap you down. Again and again. You know you're missing out on something special, but getting the hang of it feels daunting. And yet, you can't help but think, maybe this is the one. With Wild's Monster Hunter is bigger than ever. Is it good for players new to Monster Hunter? Is it even a good Monster Hunter game? If you ask those questions, this review's for you.
This is clearly a job for the guild. I'm coming too! You in? Of course I'm in.
Me too.
Don't worry, the hunter is here. Just watch. There's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, okay?
Let's do this.
Monster Hunter's been through a lot since it debuted on the PS2 way back in 2004. And yet, it hasn't changed very much at all. The mechanics and overall gameplay loop were strong at the very beginning, and they've only built on that to create the behemoth franchise they have today. Here's the gist of it. Once you select a hunt, you begin your preparations, restocking your key items like potions, setting your preferred weapon and armor loadouts for the hunt ahead, and eating meals, of course, to temporarily buff your stats. Then you head out to the area your target's at, hunt them down, then fight them until you either slay them or trap them. Once you've harvested your rewards for the monster, you head back and use those materials to upgrade your weapons and armor to help you take on tougher monsters. After that, the loop begins again. You did it! You did a Monster Hunter! Hundreds of hours of gameplay now lay before you. But let's talk about Wilds. Now, if you're a casual like me, or someone new to the franchise, explaining all the little quality of life changes and details of weapon movesets won't do much for you. Instead, let's talk about just some of the changes going on. The maps of Wilds are bigger and more open than ever, with bases in each region for you to operate from and quickly get into the hunt. Mounts are also returning from Monster Hunter Rise in the form of secrets. Secrets? Anyway, secrets now run automatically toward the target you set, which is a nice quality of life feature that lets you take a small tour of the region, as well as gather helpful items on your way to the monster. Also, they took away the cat chefs. Instead, you can now cook your own food anywhere you want. Just be careful where you decide to cook, because it can get really dangerous. Oh, come on, I'm filming something over here. These changes and so many more make for an experience that balances the mix of action, menu hell, and traversal quite well. While I certainly found joining up with friends online to be an absolute pain, I chalk it up to the unique way Monster Hunter does, well, everything. You just need to get used to it. Speaking of getting used to it, it's time to talk about the meat of the game, fighting monsters. Look, Monster Hunter combat remains Monster Hunter combat. There's no getting around it. And that's a good thing. The animation locking, needing to observe monsters' attacks to react thoughtfully is the fun. There's nothing to do except pick the weapon you like most and jump in, head first. Luckily, for those times you get caught catching haymakers, you have your secret nearby to snatch you up and carry you away from danger while you sharpen your weapon or consume or gather items to heal yourself up. Your Palico helper is also there to provide support periodically. These tools alone are great luxuries that more veteran hunters did without in prior generations. However, maybe you're thinking that won't be enough. Well, that's where certain combat tools come in. Not every weapon can do all of these, but hunters have the ability to mount monsters and open up wounds, providing you a brief respite from receiving damage. On top of that, you can trigger a power clash to knock down a monster, or use offset attacks to counter monsters. But a huge addition in Wilds is the inclusion of focus strikes, which trigger guaranteed big damage when used on open wounds. There's so much more to learn about and explore with Monster Hunter Wilds combat, but this is plenty to get you going and having fun. Before we finish this section, I want to address the big question, picking your weapon. Here's the thing, all weapons in this game are viable. Some Monster Hunter veterans will tell you which ones are good and bad, but in my experience, their perspective is based on their knowledge of the finer points of their movesets, which neither of us will really appreciate. The best advice I can give you is to pick the one that looks most fun to you. I started with the Insect Blade because of the aerial movement options it gives you, but I've also moved on from that to other slower, harder weapons as I got more comfortable. If you need a recommendation, I would start with either Sword and Shield or Dual Blades to get a more familiar combat speed, so you can quickly get to the joy of the fight. The formula ain't broken, and Monster Hunter Wilds has only expanded on it and honed it to make fighting monsters a fun experience for all skill levels. The building blocks for years of great Monster Hunter are all here. However, there's a catch. You see, Monster Hunter isn't exactly known for its story. In fact, I've been told by Monster Hunter players to skip the story when you can, as there's nothing consequential going on. The story predictably revolves around hunting monsters, and then there are efforts to create drama around the new cast of characters introduced in each entry. However, the meat of the game is based in high-rank hunts, which you have to work toward through introductory low-rank hunts, which are done by playing the story. And Wilds is the franchise's biggest attempt at a proper theatrical story. It starts off well enough, giving you a small squad of characters with their own contrasting personalities. An enthusiastic and stylish blacksmith named Gemma, your tender and thoughtful guildmate Alma, your adorable and trusty Palico sidekick, and a young boy from the region named Nata. Despite what I had been told, I was really looking forward to this journey. Now don't get me wrong, there are plenty of cutscenes with well-designed characters and beautiful landscapes, with a number of enjoyable set pieces scattered throughout. Each cutscene was fun to look at, but if you paid attention, you would notice that the cast was mostly all on the same page. The people of Monster Hunter all agree on cooperation to survive and thrive in a world full of monsters. Which leaves us with a story where not a whole lot of meaningful conflict really happens. I ended up finding more conflict between the camera and my choice of weapons and armor. The world of Monster Hunter actually reminds me a lot of Pokemon, a world in which humans and monsters coexist, where the game places emphasis on the beauty and wonder of new places and new cultures, where people come together and unite in their shared humanity. They even both have a knack for wonderfully unique and attractive character designs, but the writing is lackluster, both in quality and quantity. Once you get past the surface, Once you get past the surface, there isn't really much there. The core of the tension and conflict in Wild centers around Nata, a young boy who is coming of age in a stressful time, receiving a lot of information in charged contexts. This could be something if you and the adults weren't already aware of the correct conclusion on these issues. Maybe this story would hit a kid around Nata's age hard, but any older and you find yourself among the adults, patting Nata on the head and sending him away so the adults can take care of things. Beyond that, there's the obvious threat of man versus nature, but it just doesn't deliver the high drama from a story perspective. If nothing else, the story is once again a vehicle to pull you through the low ranks and ease the less skilled hunters into the high ranks. For the best experience, I suggest either sitting back and enjoying the vibes and putting no weight on what's actually happening, or skipping the cutscenes altogether. The vibes are good, very good, but there just isn't much happening here, so don't get your hopes up. Luckily, when the story ends, the good vibes continue. You'll have more hunts to enjoy, less story to worry about, so much to obtain and upgrade, and all the while, you'll get to enjoy the vibrant and wondrous world and all its terrain and plant life and creatures running about, each of us taking our place in the circle of life that Monster Hunter celebrates. It's just so charming and cute, too, and it makes for a wonderfully balanced mix when paired with the action-packed violence of hunts. Oh, and I lied to you! You get your cat chefs back in high rank once you beat the story, and the food looks so good! And let me remind you, once you start earning high rank armor, you unlock layered armor. What does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. It means cosmetics, the true end game, mixing colors, getting to choose pieces of any gender. It's awesome. There are so many armor sets to choose from. I have never looked or felt cooler in a Monster Hunter game, and neither has my Palico. The Monster Hunter experience has never been more appealing or accessible than it is right now. Go alone, get your friends together, or send out an SOS flare to play with others, no matter how you hunt. If you signed up for some goddamn Monster Hunter, with Wilds, you're gonna have a good time. Thank you all so much for watching. This is my first fully edited video that I've ever done, so hopefully it wasn't too rough. If you enjoyed and want to see more, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to both help us out and to make sure you catch more videos from us here at Super Gamecraft. We're a group of people who enjoy talking about video games, video game history, and video game industry news, so feel free to join us in the conversation through comments here, follow us on social media, or even, join our Discord. That's all from me. Thank you very much, and happy hunting.